And this is where it all happens?
Yeah, all in this studio.
Sound engineer Simon Daniels qualified in CPR while training as a voluntary special constable. He never expected his first chance to save a life would come in a television studio.
It was just a normal day in the studio. Everyone was having great fun. Glenn was enjoying playing football. It was his 61st birthday. And then I heard someone shout for help. And as I looked, I could see someone laying on the floor. And I didn't know who it was. And just my natural instinct was to run over and have a look and see if I could help. And it was Glenn Hoddle who was laying on his back. And I kind of took control, and I sort of apologised afterwards and said to people, "I'm sorry I was bossing you about." You know, I shouted for people to phone for an ambulance, get the defibrillator, and then I just focused on Glenn.
And how long did you have to do CPR for?
I did CPR for about 8.5 minutes, and I think the first paramedics were there within 7 minutes. All of us in the studio were talking to Glenn, and whilst he may not have necessarily been able to hear us, it was just support. It was support from the presenters, the cameramen, the sound men. We were all saying to Glenn, "Come on, Glenn, you know, stay with us, stay with us."
You had to go in quite hard.
Yeah, you've got to compress the heart to get the blood flowing around the body, and I was aware that obviously I'd possibly cracked a couple of his ribs.
But I think a lot of people would be worried to get involved. They wouldn't feel qualified. They wouldn't know what to do.
It's not about being qualified, it's do something and do it quick. Even if you're not 100% sure, you can save someone's life.
He could have slipped away. He could have died. And you worked on him, and then you felt a pulse. What was that moment like?
I knew that what I was doing was giving him a fighting chance, because even though the paramedics were there quickly, within 7 minutes, 7 minutes is a long time to have no pulse and not be breathing. So if you can get that heart going and you can get oxygen into the body, the survival rate is much improved. And yes, when I could feel that pulse, I felt I was obviously just doing the right thing, and that was it.
Well, I know one of his daughters said he may well have been your hero all these years, but now you're their hero.
Yeah, there's been lots of lovely comments from the family, and they've called me their hero, you know, their guardian angel. I don't see myself as a hero. I just see myself as someone who helped someone on that day. It just happened to be Glenn.
Have you actually seen Glenn now?
I have, yeah. And the first thing he did is he gave me a big hug, and I immediately gave him a big hug back, and he went, "Oh, not too hard," because he was still in a bit of pain.
From those broken ribs?
And the second thing he said to me was, "You know, you broke 7 of my ribs." And we had a laugh, and it was just lovely. I don't think anything in anything that I've ever done is going to be topped by saving someone's life. But this is Glenn Hoddle. You know, he is a hero to the football world, and he's one of my heroes. And I was in the right place at the right time. Hopefully sometime soon he'll be walking out on the pitch at White Hart Lane, and I'll be happy.